I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. We got Jimmy Rio and myself, Danny G, in the house tonight, and let's get it popping, brother. What's up?
First off, you're going to kick us off with some crazy Kansas City fandom. Yeah, fandom.
Yeah.
You're tell us down a little rabbit hole. Tell us about a rabbit hole you just went down.
Yeah, I caught a clip listening to Pat McAfee earlier, and it was about this Chiefs fan that is like on the run. So this guy, pretty famous Chiefs fan, apparently wears this big wolf outfit every game or whatever. He apparently robbed a bank in Oklahoma. And so the story is he walked up to the teller with a gun and literally pointed at her head and said, "Give me all the hundreds or I'm going to kill you." And then made him open the safe and took like over $100,000 in cash. And so they found him. He was arrested. This is back in December. He originally had bail at $200,000, and him and his lawyers convinced the judge to drop it to $80,000. He was released on the condition that he had an ankle monitor on, and $80,000 is all he had to pay 4 days before the Super Bowl, so he could watch the Super Bowl, watch his Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And just after that, so this is the news that I saw. It's weird because I'm surprised I didn't hear more recently, but back in February, March, he cut off the ankle bracelet and took off. So he's on the run to this point, on the run.
Yeah.
Fucking. And so apparently around the Super Bowl time, he put up like what his bets were in that. If he hit on those bets, he won like, what did we say, $90,000 or $80,000?
90.
So he's probably like making money through this whole thing just with bets and stuff. And that was one of the things they said was his calls during his jail time was like betting. All of his calls. He wasn't called family and shit. It was all betting shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hilarious. So this dude's on the run. He's like a fucking super wanted criminal. I can't remember what
they let him out before the Super Bowl too, right?
Yeah. That way he could watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just what the fuck? Like, how am I? I'm sitting there trying to defend Oklahoma on a regular basis because it is the more prominent state to Texas.
It's fucking beautiful, dude.
It is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places, definitely in the southern states for sure.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, they've been to Oklahoma, and that's it. The end of the list.
No, I've been to Florida too. Florida and Alabama. But hard to defend going from $200,000 bail on an armed robbery down to $80,000. You know, a fucking homeless dude could come up with something to put up for $80,000.
Oklahoma, man.
They're like, you know what? It's not really that bad. He didn't blow up a building or anything. Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah, they're not smart down there.
That shit is insane. I couldn't believe it.
Way more intelligent than Texas.
Yeah. Oh, did you just hear the story that we just rattled off? Because
yeah, hardcore fan.
That's just it. That's just insane. Like we were trying to dig up to see if he actually made it to Super Bowl or playoff games, any of that, because evidently he hadn't missed a game, right? Isn't that what you?
Right.
Up until this, I'm like, dude, if this dude showed up, dude, the nuts this guy would have.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we can't arrest him. We'll wait till after the game.
Right.
No shit.
Like super fan, we can't just.
He's our good luck charm.
Right.
But speaking of NFL, so I don't know if you knew this or not. Our Vikings paid off their stadium 23 years before.
Early, yeah.
Yeah. So they saved the taxpayers a shitload of money, right, and interest and stuff. But the interesting thing, and it made sense, was that now everything that's held there, they make all the money off of because they own it.
Okay. I'm going to stop you on two things. Number one, one of two things is gonna happen. The first one will be they're gonna try to pull another loan because they had $100 million in repairs or whatever the fuck it was.
That's true.
A stupid amount, right? Like because something went wrong or whatever. But God, I hope that they do. Obviously, they do own it free and clear now. I'm hoping it drops the prices of their fucking beer and food in there.
Yeah,
because it is a stupid amount.
It's expensive as
and
hell.
that's the reason why it's a stupid
that doesn't
amount.
win. Yeah,
You better calm the fuck down.
they'll finish third in that division.
No, stop. Stop.
I'm glad you're already on that delusional
No.
Vikings train.
Two at worst.
Hold on, where are the Cowboys finishing?
Definitely 2.
And who's the, hold
The
on,
Eagles are winning the whole thing again. I'm not.
who's finishing ahead of the Vikings?
Bears.
Stop.
Whoa!
It'll be It'll be Detroit. It'll be Green Bay. It'll be Vikings.
It will
They're
not
tanking.
be Green Bay
Yeah,
with
they're gonna be
Jared Love,
tanking.
Jordan
They
Love.
want Caleb Williams. They're gonna tank.
They would need Kirk Cousins to go down to tank
They're gonna tank.
because he is
need a quarterback.
he's a 500 quarterback by himself. You know what I'm saying? That give or take game or whatever. He's a 500 quarterback.
Yeah.
They're gonna tank. You can't. What's the long term plan if you're like, oh, you basically tell Kirk like, thanks but no thanks. We're moving on.
It's Trey Lance, man.
It is. That still isn't off the table yet. We'll see. But I'm not against everything that you're saying. Actually, if they're gonna do it,
Listen,
Like,
this
at
motherfucker
least-
tried to sell me on tanking last year.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
we just need to do it, bite the bullet and get. I think
We
you wanted
do.
one of them for this year.
yeah,
you
I
wanted,
did.
yeah,
I wanted one of these
Bryce
guys
or
but,
something.
Right.
But if you get Caleb Williams, that's a pretty nice consolation prize.
Right. You need to kind of just reset, and otherwise you're gonna be one of those, Ryan Tannehill started for us, and
Yeah.
them old veteran quarterbacks. You're
You
just
need-
bouncing around 3.
The reason why that you're going to be correct on this is because they didn't extend Kirk even another year. So they're not really trying to
Right.
They didn't bring in like a stupid amount of like talent while not extending him. So it isn't like they're going for gold. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
won how many games last year? 9, 10 of them off of one score, come from behind type of victories. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
Yeah, point
I wouldn't be
differential is
shocked.
horrible, and I don't know. I see them trying to tank and getting a young quarterback. Because you're going to reset the market with Justin
I do-
Jefferson. Defense isn't going to
that'll
be
drive
there.
the ticket prices down and the beer price will be down because they just
Perfect.
this is perfect.
Right.
This is a
They'll
win-win-win.
They'll be losing.
And we'll get a
Hell yeah,
quarterback
let's go.
of the future.
You know what I
When's the
can
last
see
time?
happening?
Come in, tears his ACL, snap one.
Shut the fuck
Y'all
up.
suck up. Y'all suck again.
What if
man,
Kirk
suck
Cousins
again.
Takes like an ownership role with the Vikings, and then just decides.
He's probably pissed now.
Well, I'm
they're
just
like,
saying-
for how
thanks,
much
but-
money he's made.
Yeah, he's made a shitload of money.
What,
Yeah,
100 and he's
To be an
cleared
average
150 million minimum,
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed.
yeah.
To be average, yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm
To be
just
a Pro
saying. I
Bowler,
mean,
he's
we
better than Dak.
we see that scenario somewhere else right now,
Get out of here.
where there's an owner that could potentially be playing for the team in Vegas.
Oh.
He says he doesn't see himself coming back. He's
It-
like, I am certain. And his exact quote was, "I'm certain I don't see myself coming back."
Yeah.
Tom Brady, but
I think it's interesting because around the same time when people start talking about that, the whole Jimmy G's contract thing, they could get away with not paying him at all
Yeah.
because of that injury.
well, you're missing one of the biggest parts of your argument to help you.
Okay, I'm here for
Jimmy
it.
G looks like he may not be ready for the season. He may not play this season because that's what hung up the contract. They wouldn't come out and say that. But I guess his physical, he had to sign like a waiver. So and he may miss the season. They already turned it into base salary, so
No,
they could cut
that's
him
what.
for nothing.
No, that's exactly $0.
They could cut him for
Yeah.
nothing, but he could miss the whole season.
Yeah. That's another team that's going to be tanking too, though. I don't think they would do. Because, you trade Darren Waller.
Haven't they
you
been doing it
trade-
forever though?
You just. Well, they thought Derek Carr was the guy, right?
He was
I
the
mean,
guy.
yeah.
I don't think they did shit right.
Yeah, I think so too. He wasn't horrible. He didn't surround him,
Yeah.
So, so I do think they are also a team that's going to be tanking as well. They kind of shipped a bunch of their talent around, or guys playing on a tag or whatnot. So,
Well, God, exactly what you're saying though is that they did actually start building it the right way around him. Remember, they had one of the top 3 for sure offensive lines.
Yep.
They had some weapons at wide
and then
receiver.
they just
had the right
traded
coach,
everybody
and then-
away. It was like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
And
For
like right in the
picks.
middle, like
Yeah.
fuck this. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? If you're a Raiders fan, you'd be pissed. I'm like, hold on, you have the
Right.
offensive line.
Traded that. They fucked up on their draft pick on that Leatherwood or whatever. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they just. Yeah. I think they'll be tanking too. I think.
It's so hard though, right? Because you've got maybe the best receiver in the league. You've got one of the best running backs.
You have
in
the
the
second
league.
best receiver. JJ is on the planet.
They're neck and neck for me, bro. I love JJ, but they're up there, dude. Adams
got
is
you,
so
yeah.
good. But so how do you keep them? Because especially Adams, he's not going to be that. He's not about tanking.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Right,
he
I mean,
senses that, then I could see him just like I'm gonna sit.
My hamstring.
Yeah.
hurts.
Yep,
Well,
I'm
I
just
mean,
not
then
gonna
you
play.
ship them out for, draft
Yeah.
picks or something else. Maybe, or you trade him with another one to move up in the draft, depending on where you sit. I mean, you're sitting in a good spot if you want to tank because look at the division.
Yeah,
You're
zero
way-
chance in that.
Yeah,
division.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're actually sitting pretty good to be like, oh yeah, we're not tanking, right? So
I get you.
No.
God, Vikings better not tank though. I just don't ever.
Hey, back to the beer getting
I
priced
want this.
down.
Oh,
I appreciate that. Okay.
right.
That was a big time news article right there. 23 years early. That's how you take care of business.
Yeah, what kind of beer did we find that was not cheap, but fucking not $8 a fucking tall boy or whatever it
Eight?
was?
Dude, it was 18, Danny.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't
Yeah.
remember the number. It was expensive as fuck. Yeah.
Wasn't it $18 a beer?
I don't know.
I'm almost certain. And then because we went up there for one prior, and it was
what was it?
that was like every bit of like $12 at that point, if not more. Think
I know it was
me and
expensive
you
because
went.
we went for the Thanksgiving game. Yeah, it was expensive.
I'm pretty sure it was close to
Beers are
stupid.
$15, $16 a pop.
A fucking pop, I think, was $8.
But we had damn good seats, so I will say that. Thank you, Jeff Short. Damn good seats.
Hooked
man.
you up.
Got hooked up.
But we'll continue on. Shannon Sharpe, gentlemen.
He got-
Looks like he is leaving Undisputed.
Mhm.
Now, we know when this kind of started happening. There's been multiple times, big time clashes, and more personal based, not like televised, like you're trying to get ratings. Like you could tell that he was legitimately pissed. One of them was if you guys saw if you guys remember DeMar Hamlin? Yeah, DeMar Hamlin. When Skip Bayless put that tweet out that was pretty insensitive, and then he didn't show up the next day to work.
Yep.
And then there was the one where he insults Shannon, saying that he didn't say he had a garbage career, but he's saying that Tom Brady's basically the man. He's better than you. You're pissed off that he's playing to 45 and you stopped him when you were 35 or some shit, and
Yeah.
you're not as good as him.
Yeah.
So he started taking shots at
Shannon's
that.
like, I'm a Hall of Famer. What do you mean? Like,
Right. But it looks like he's going to be. They reached a FS1 Fox Sports. They reached a buyout agreement, and it looks like it's going to be after the NBA Finals conclude in June. What do you think?
yeah, it definitely sounded like there was even more than the personal stuff. Like apparently, everything on that show Skip dictates. So whether it's the topics or how long they talk about the topics or everything, that's why it's always Tom Brady and LeBron James. It's always the same shit. And Shannon wanted to have a voice and talk, some input on what they're going to talk about, and that never happened. So between that and obviously all the personal shit, it wasn't going to work, man. But I'm curious what Shannon does if he goes to another spot like that, or he's got a big brand now if he does his own thing too.
All right, and he already does kind of his own thing on his a podcast thing, right? It's a show. But you were talking about something interesting. Who was trying to recruit him?
Stephen A. Stephen A. trying to bring him over.
What do you think?
It'd be interesting to see. I don't watch too much of those morning sports shows, so
I don't ever since they
yeah,
became racial.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Let's be honest.
it's-
That's what
yeah.
it was. It started getting real racial, and you had to making me feel like a piece of shit because I'm a white guy
yeah.
while I'm watching your
I
show.
agree, yeah. It's just-
And I used to love them when I was younger, fucking five years ago, or maybe a little bit older, but
PTI is still the best.
It just
Still my
yeah,
favorite.
I did like that one. Yeah, it's just all changed, and they're pushing. It's like it's not what sports is.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what he does.
Danny.
Plenty of money out there.
Yeah,
He can
I think he'll be fine.
Right.
Right.
Come over to 3 gig. We'll
We got spots.
We'll help
Right.
promote you, Shannon. Come
yeah,
on.
it's cool.
Come on, baby. You brought up. Do we go with that right now? You sent this out, or one of you gentlemen sent it out to me. Jamie Foxx. There was a lot of hidden stuff going on. Everyone just knew he was hospitalized, right? Evidently, he was paralyzed and blind, with a blood clot in his brain. Now, this is evidently after a COVID-19 shot that he was mandated to get for what movie he was shooting?
But it starts with a B. I don't remember what the movie was.
You were taking it right out of my mouth earlier.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
you
the
only did.
article pulled up.
You
fucking
asshole. Pressure to get it. Give me a second. I had it. So, Cameron Diaz movie, Back in Action.
Yeah.
Which the movie decided to move forward with production without Fox, and they'll use a body double in his place.
Oh,
So,
okay.
what were you thinking about that? Man?
First of all, interesting transition since you brought up Hamlin a minute ago. I know it's not related at all, but
Mhm.
interesting transition there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently he was forced to do it because the movie, if he wanted to do the movie, he had to get that done, which is shitty. But there's a lot of people out there talking about conspiracy theories and all this other shit. Like, I feel like Jamie was a fucking very healthy guy. I feel like this wasn't something that was just going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it happened just after he got the jab. So, what? There's a lot of people, you mentioned this earlier. They're like, there's no evidence to suggest that's what happened. And what was your response?
There's no evidence that it wasn't.
Right.
There's no evidence that it wasn't the cause of it. Show me that it wasn't. Show me that blood clot was there before he got a shot.
Yeah.
That it was traveling its way up. Right?
100%.
Because one of the few things that has gotten out that we have found out is that this shot does cause blood clots.
Yeah.
Right? That's been more than proven. That's not a fucking throwing it off of some conspiracy or anything. It literally has been well documented. The very few things that they do let you well document about this thing is that. But
Sucks, man.
We were talking about. I hope he makes a full recovery. I doubt it. I don't know. But I also thought that about DeMar Hamlin too. So. Mm-hmm.
It's a double. It's a double, man.
It's a double man.
It's a double, man. It's a
But-
double, man.
We were talking about how talented Jamie Foxx is in general.
Yeah.
You know, like how many movies, how many actors can you think that can nail almost every role that they do it? It could be serious, it could be historical, it could be athletic, it could be comedy, it could be. How many actors can you even think that can do all of it? And to top it off, not a bad rapper either. Not too bad of a musician.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe Will Smith before he became Bitch Smith. Bitch that.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
My wife's name at your mouth.
Speaking of which, you guys did see that eventually down the road. What was that? Probably a couple months ago that Chris Rock came out and fucking he had to stand up on it. And he was
Oh, yeah.
very angry. He's like, I can't believe I fucking let it happen and everything. I know that dude would whoop my ass and everything. Don't get me wrong. But he's like, I took a high road that it didn't need to happen. He's like, it's a fucking joke. And like, I don't know. He just went off. Kind of wish Will
Right.
Smith would have been in the
What's the
crowd
biggest
now.
joke that y'all basically made a big announcement on national television about the whole deal? Like, that's as big as a joke too. It's like, so,
Right. They've been on talk shows talking about how she fucks other dudes and you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? It's not out there anymore? Now we can't talk about it?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah, like while she's like looking you, dude. After all that, I didn't watch it when it first came out. Like the part where she's saying that she's fucking other dudes or fucked another dude. Until like after the Chris Rock thing, and I kind of watched it. I'm like, dude, this is fucking cringeworthy. Like she has some
Yeah.
psycho shit.
Yeah.
Because she's like, well, how do you feel about that? That some other man's basically, she's like, some other man's dick was in me. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does it make
that
you
man's like
feel?
breaking down and shit.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
just like,
Huh.
fuck you.
Like, how's that make you feel that, my guts were getting rearranged?
Jesus.
Oh, why would you be doing it, right? It's fucking Will
Goddamn.
Smith. You bet you know his fucking Long Dong Silver coming.
Wait, what? Whoa, whoa. Well,
Rearranging.
Long Dong 2.0.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's
we
one
know
now.
one.
You
We
know
know
it is. Right?
We know one ourselves, yeah.
But you also said another interesting one, and I couldn't wrap my mind around this shit. But there's a couple NFL execs claiming that DeAndre Hopkins cannot run anymore. Now, I did find that one said that, he's just fine. He'll still play.
Yeah, it's
Scary. Especially you were
Real
talking
interesting.
Cowboys. Does that change what your thought process is?
Well, I guess it kind of clears up why nobody would trade for him. Because you'd think if a team really wanted him, if he was that valuable, I get it, he's making a ton of money, but you can trade and then rework it. The deal, the Cardinals want to get rid of him that bad, they can eat some of it. There's all kinds of ways you can get it done, a trade done, right? If he wants out, that way you don't lose him for nothing like they just did. And so for a team that doesn't have much on the roster, you would think they would want something. 100%. Get it back, right? The worst roster in the league right now. So, and then they just were like, yeah, fuck it, cut him. So now it kind of starts adding up. Well, maybe he does have something going on that's wrong with him.
That would scare you away from it.
Yeah, dude.
The other team I didn't think about bringing up when we were talking about teams that we thought he should go to, where we believe he actually will go. I didn't even think about it. This is at the time I did think about it, but now when we were talking, the Bears should still sign him. I don't give a fuck if the dude can't run and create separation or not. If you watch this man's game tape, or if you watched him over his career, he doesn't do it off of separation, gentlemen. How often do you see him wide open because he gained separation? It was literally, he has the best hands in the league. He can jump out of the building. So unless those knees have prevented him from jumping, he should be the Bears. It really should. I don't want him to go up there, of course, but give Justin Fields something that you don't even have to be on target. You just need to be in the vicinity. And he has the ability, like I said, to jump out of the building and catch ridiculous passes on a regular basis. I think it drives his number down. Money better not be the top thing, right?
Well, all he's asking for is OBJ money, and OBJ didn't exactly get paid a ton, and nobody's even biting at that, dude. So that worries me. I just read this, too. So that coach of the Cardinals is something else. So they were asked about having to release him.
Mm-hmm.
His response was, his departure is not really that big a deal to me.
He's the NFL Hall of Famer, future
What
NFL
the
Hall of
fuck?
Famer, right? Like, we're not going to argue about that one, correct, gentlemen?
Right, dude.
What do you mean it's not that big a deal?
Yeah. How do you not?
His leadership, he's the only one that was kind of keeping fucking Kyler half-ass mentally there. He was separating him and the coach last year.
Right, dude.
You guys remember that? Was that Thursday night or Monday night? I know it was a big time game or whatever, primetime game, I should say. God, that coach.
No big deal. Like, I feel like that's where maybe experience comes from. But you say something like, listen, it's obviously going to be a big deal. He'll bounce back and he'll be fine. We're going to have to figure out what to do. Yeah, really no big deal is a fucking... If he's healthy, he's the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's crazy to me. But there has to be some bigger thing going on with his knees or whatever. Because I don't know why any team, even if he's 80% Hopkins, you jump at that $15 million, right?
Yeah. Oh, all day.
Yeah.
But there's wide receivers getting way more overpaid than that, right? I mean, it happens almost every year, especially in like free agency, low wide receiver counts in free agency. It happened with Kenny Galladay. It happened with that's the one that comes right off top of the
easiest. Yeah.
Bernard
Right.
Berrien back in the day with the Vikings.
And I get it, they're
tell you.
waiting because June 1st come around, so the money's coming off everything's coming
Yeah.
off right now. So we'll see if anything picks up, before
The
training
Giants
camp.
shouldn't they?
That's actually, you just use the best reason they shouldn't, because they just did that with Galladay and got fucked for a long
Sterling
time.
Right,
Shepard,
but
how many
yeah.
injuries have they had through the wide receiver room?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but Kenny Galladay is not nowhere near any of that.
I get it, but
He just got paid off with one decent year.
it's more than just one guy.
Their
You know,
whole
they're probably
the
smart.
injury part. Yeah,
Yeah.
the injury part for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But at this point, you'd have to me, you'd have to take a flyer. You'd still have to be the Jets, Giants. Jets definitely should. What else do you have to? What do you really have to lose? Like, especially if you're all in, which you've shown you're all in for this year, why wouldn't you still throw that at him? 15 mil, whatever it is. I think what was it, 15, 16 mil that he got?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, we're going to pair you with a quarterback you've never played with in your regular season career. Right. And, Aaron, we're going to pair you with a receiver you've never seen before, talent-wise, even more than Devontae. Yes, I do. I'm standing by that.
Yeah.
Devontae is all around. I'm talking about pure talent. Devontae Adams had to work his way, right? He does everything technically right. He does. I agree. He's quick, but he's a proficient route runner.
Yeah.
And that's what he gains his separation from. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a 1-2 with Aaron like that, but we're talking about a dude that can do anything. It doesn't matter. His physical talents would take over. So it'd be a receiver he's never played with that type of style before.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? But yeah. Anything else you want to touch on, gentlemen?
Maybe the NBA coaches.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with your Churchill Downs.
Yeah, that's kind of wild to me. We can do that first. The
Yeah.
Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
So they suspended. I'm not big into horse racing. None of us are really, but
Hey,
unless we go in
when
person.
we're in person, it's not too bad, actually.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
actually a
good
good time.
So they suspended all races as of right now because they've had an unusual amount of injuries and even deaths just since April. Apparently 12 horses have died on that track since April, towards the end of April, too. So it's like, what the fuck is going on with that track?
Feeding them Zinpro stuff. All that microplex I've been shoving in batches finally coming back to get me.
What?
I mean, no, yeah. Top Guild Sleep did it.
Tom G, I saw him do it.
I saw him.
I saw him pour rust cleaner in a batch. He's wearing his PPE, so who am I to call him out? He's being safe.
At least he's safe, right? Well, that's insane. That many deaths. When you said that, it's like there's not enough testing. You know, we test humans like nonstop, especially in the fight game, right? How often do you get tested? How often do you get tested in NBA? As soon as you drop 35, 40, 50 points, all of a sudden you're drug tested like on the spot, right?
Yeah.
You're tested in the off season. I think that's been changed now, collective bargaining, shit like that. But you know what I'm getting at. Why in the hell is there not? Because this has to be stuff that you're giving animals throughout their time, and you're stopping just in time that when you do test them, which is prior to the race, maybe I don't know how many hours before, but it's kind of fucked up. Maybe you should be like, hey, you're training this horse, and he's gonna be coming this way. He needs to have.
Yeah, but
monthly
they're good till they get there, and then they shoot them full of rabies when they get there, so they can run like crazy.
Is that what it is?
Oh, shit, man. The more I think about this, I'm surprised horses don't die more often because they're like the horses they get are like thoroughbred, right? They've got to be perfect bloodline, perfect for the sport and everything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They juice them to the gills, like you're talking about, right?
Juice them
And
gills
then they
the-
redline them
Yeah.
for fucking however long in this race.
Right,
They
and then
run
at the
max.
end they're like, "Here's the high."
Yeah, like, man.
Hey,
Good
thanks.
job.
Hey, hold on. You're still alive as long as the Triple Crown's still on the table.
Right? Yeah, no kidding. Oh wait,
You lost that second race? Oh, shit.
Who? You guys ever see that video of who's the MMA fighter that does the horse racing? He lost the belt to Islam, or it wasn't. He didn't have it, I guess, for the weight or whatever. But what's his name? Not Figueroa. The Brazilian guy.
Yeah. Jesus.
What?
God, he hasn't fought in a while, has he? Since then.
No, when Islam got the belt, he beat him.
I know who you're talking about. The blonde hair.
Islam,
Islam.
the 55er.
Yeah,
He beat the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Oliveira.
Oliveira. Yeah.
Oliveira.
So there's
Okay.
videos of him online. You can find. He's
Mine went
a
blank.
little guy. So he does the horse racing and stuff, and it's fucking
okay.
hilarious, dude. Yeah,
Who's the little guy?
Oliveira.
No, what is he, like 6'3"?
$155. I wonder if he
155.
cuts weight to fucking do the horse racing. Don't they got to be like $130?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
They
yeah.
have to be like, I'm pretty sure there's a height restriction, isn't there?
I don't know.
Like
dude.
5'5",
No
130.
shit. Yeah.
But I did have one more interesting thing before we go. I saw this come across, and this is weird and kind of freaky all at the same time. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but the life expectancy in the United States has plummeted.
Yeah. Who the hell
Yet
wants to
again.
keep? Who the hell wants to keep living? You see all the shit going on.
Okay, I'm going to give you a few things that are just kind of insane to me, right? So first off, since April 13th, it has declined to 76.4 years. Now, it was in 2020, it was at 77.3, basically. Keeps trending down. Now, you can blame it on whatever, okay? We kind of touched a little bit on that earlier. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay. But the more freakier thing, and this is the part that shocked me. And I knew that we weren't in the top 4 because I know a few that were ahead of them already. But the United States since 1930s, has had 50 countries surpass it in life expectancy.
Yeah. So I got to drive population now, man. That's why we poison the water.
Right. Well, I understand that, but isn't that a little bit? Isn't that a little insane? We have evidently the best med care in the world, right? Like, as in
if you can afford it.
if you can, yeah, absolutely. If you're
And that's
filthy rich.
probably, honestly, part of it. Why all those countries? Because we don't have that universal health care. You know,
Yep.
a lot of those people in some of them other countries, I imagine, can go in. You can get a treatment. And here, you know, a lot of people are going
I feel like maybe if we didn't send like trillions of dollars overseas to, you know, the desert
There's hungry
or
people
to
out there.
Ukraine, or
I mean, here, but fuck the kids here.
yeah, fuck
We'll
them, right?
Right.
And their
We'll feed
hospital.
and the veterans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fuck them. But I just thought that was insane. 50 countries higher
Yeah.
than we have the best medications in the world, but that's big farm. That's a whole different loophole. I'm not trying to go down, okay? But I'm just saying, like, we have all this. We have some of the best doctors in the world, right?
Yeah.
And our life expectancy is that, in fact, just to name a couple, I'll give you a couple numbers. For instance, Japan's is over 84 and a half years.
Yeah, they eat healthy as fuck, though.
Yeah.
They do.
You know, you look at here, everything we made is so processed. And, you know,
It is.
I'm a firm believer in that, you know, that they pump shit into our food, into
Yeah.
everything, cancerous stuff, because then they can always ride the train. Well, we don't have a cure for cancer, you know, because it's a
Which
multi-million
comes
dollar
back
industry.
to, yeah.
It's a multi-million dollar industry. The longer it stays undiscovered, quote unquote, then the more they keep. Because we'll just do radiology. We'll do this. You can do this. So many people are getting paid off of it, even though it doesn't work. You know, that it's just somebody's making money, not you. But so I'm a firm believer that they pump stuff in to cause those growths and the cancerous and stuff like that. Firm believer in it.
So am I. And I became more of a firm believer in that after I saw the chart. Because the second country, as I tell you, is the United Kingdom, which is basically 81 years. Right? Whenever you see a video of, like, in movies or anything of the UK, usually they seem a little slobby. Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like
Right.
most movies, that's kind of the image that you kind of get, right? But actually, they're relatively healthy. They do a lot of things a lot different over there. But one of them is they get everything non-GMO. They have so many restrictions. Their McDonald's, that's where I definitely got sold on this, right? Their McDonald's versus ours, like what we're allowed to put in ours versus theirs. Like the chart is like this long for what we put into our food, or like I said, like McDonald's, down to here, and it's basically for the most part all natural. There's a huge difference, but it was just shocking to me. Like, and we should be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? As a country, you should be embarrassed by that. You're telling me there's 50 countries better at taking care of their people than us? Life expectancy. So you were at 76 years. What is the age of retirement? Early age? We'll say the early age too. Is it 61? 62?
Yeah.
You can early draw, or is it 60.5? You told me at one point. That's why I'm looking at you.
When you can draw what? Social Security?
Social Security. When you can retire.
66 and a half, I think.
Is it 66.5?
I think so.
What's the early? That's the early?
Oh, that's when you can get your Social Security and be good. They won't take any hit off of it.
Right.
I think you can do it early, but
early, like 60. I thought it was 62.
But you don't get the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you don't get the whole thing. They're going to take.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, that means, let's say it's 66. That's 11 years.
What's the what'd you say the average age of death is, or how long people live here?
So currently, right now, 76.4 years. So, yeah, 10 years from,
So
11 years from retirement.
so much of it comes from our leadership and letting all this bullshit happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we currently have a president that is 80 years old. So he's actually older than the life expectancy in the United States. Did you guys see the video?
Oh, yeah.
Which one? There's countless. Are you talking about the one where they're not going to? Are you going down a
No.
hole that's
No,
gonna
I'm
be,
not.
They're not
Miles
going
is
to
gone, dude.
No. They're not going to put anyone up against him in the Democratic National Convention.
So yeah, that's true. But no, that's not what I'm saying. He fell down again the other day
Yeah.
after a speech at the Air Force Academy. And my favorite, like, he's old. He shouldn't be fucking president anyway.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not but the way the media tries to tout it is he's just healthy and fucking young buck and blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. Okay. He could have broke a hip right there. Legit. But what cracked me up was he fell down and apparently he like tripped on a sandbag. Did you hear? He like pointed immediately at the sandbag and said, "Sandbag." Like it jumped out in front of him or something and caused his ass to trip, dude. You need to put that clip up in this space where we're talking right now. Try to find it
Okay.
and put it up there.
All right.
Because it's insane. I don't know how
I
many
didn't
times
see him
this
turn
man has
around. I
fallen.
didn't hear. That's what he said.
Yeah.
The insanity. There's even some actresses, they're heavy Democrat, right? That are calling out the insanity that they're not putting anybody up to go up against them.
Yeah.
They're like, he's 80 some odd years old. You're telling me there's nobody else that you'd place up against?
Right.
Are you kidding? This is ridiculous. It's going to be a steamroll. And if it isn't a steamroll when it does happen, it's going to be the most obvious rigging I've ever seen in my life. I don't care who they put up on the other side.
Yeah.
It's been so bad, has it not? I mean, I'm talking about economy, the whole works.
Yeah. Everything's been horrible.
It's been horrible. There's no way.
Yep.
He has the lowest approval rating by far. The vice president has the only person that has a lower approval rating is the vice president, Kamala Harris.
Yeah. And they would have put her in the spot, but they're like, "Fuck, we're gonna lose with her, so we got to keep him up here."
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But yep, that's what I have for you, gentlemen. Do you have make sense? Oh.
You don't have a Ruby story?
I haven't been able to talk to the young man in a while. I do. You know what? I got a small one. I do have a small one because he fucking showed up. So he was at shift change, right? Last week when I've been on vacation this week. It's been awesome. Busy as fuck. He comes in you remember he's a big energy guy. Remember that?
Oh,
big
yeah.
on energy. That's the reason why he listens to the music that he listens to.
What,
Lounge
Fish
music.
or what?
Lounge music. No, not even Fish. It's not stoner. That'd be way too. This is like lounge music you would never guess. You didn't even know that it was a thing.
No
It's
wonder
whatever
old
they
girl's
play.
not putting out for him.
Yeah, there's no swag up in there. Yeah, there's no swag. It's literally what you play in those like high class like fucking lounge areas.
Like elevator music or something? Right?
Yeah, we used to call it elevator music, but even elevator music has gotten a little bit better than what the shit that he's listening to. So
Jesus.
we're not going to insult that, right?
Right.
Comes in, energy all off. Somebody asked him about what the hell did they ask him? They asked him something about like what we've been talking about with him. That's old, and then he just goes on this tangent. He's like, "That's old news." I'm like, "That literally happened like 2 weeks ago, dude." I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm with him. I'm with him over there when he was bringing it up to you, which I understand. I'm the instigator. That's why I would be with
He's
him.
like, nah, she touched it now. No more
Yeah,
grinding
the
through
dry
the
humping.
pants.
That's what it was. It
No
was the
more-
dry humping.
what?
Yeah, it was. It was about the dry humping because someone was like, "Hey, you finally stopped dry
She gave
humping."
me a handy.
He's
We're
like-
past it.
He's like, yeah, I'm done with that. And that's old news. I'm like, it's not that old, dude. You just cut this off like a week ago, number one. Number two, the story in which it came out was about 3 weeks. So that's not too old.
See, when was this? When did Pride Month start? 2 days ago?
Coincidence?
Coincidence.
Yeah, just all kinds of negative energy and piss. He literally stormed out, went to the PCS pack, started packaging right away. Next day, he wanted to find his energy. He had his energy back. Hey, Jimmer. I'm like, no, fuck off. I'm going to get your energy back down here because you were a piece of shit yesterday when someone was joking about it.
Yeah.
But, and then one other small one. This isn't like a huge make sense. But when you have major sports going on a regular basis, especially small towns, I appreciate the hard work that goes in. I really do. And I appreciate that, like, all the effort that goes in. But maybe you take a month off before you start doing football practices while baseball is going on.
Stop it.
While weightlifting is going on.
You don't stop weightlifting. You always
Weightlifting
weightlift.
should always be going on, first of all.
Always weightlift.
In between all this,
Yes.
you come in the day and the life and day of the Holder household, and you guys would die. And you're in way more better shape than I am, and you go to the gym almost every day. I guarantee you would die if you watch what they have to do.
First off, pull out, okay? This is nobody's fault but your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not even talking about for me. I'm not even talking about for me. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to get the participation.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the full effect. I don't think. Maybe you're getting some in their head, but they have other shit going on. Like, and it's only we just stopped school. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
gotta-
saying maybe 1
they
month.
get you.
That's all I was getting at. I'm like, give it a month, man. Like, I'm all about installing some. I'm a big football guy. We're big football guys, so I'd love to see us get onto one page and the program move its way up and all that stuff and doing great through our town.
Mm-hmm.
But 1 month, baseball's done.
Yeah.
At that point,
Well, part of the deal is you lose most of July. I mean, I kind of understand because of the dead period. There's a dead period or whatever here for whatever. You can't talk, no nothing, no athletics. So,
what?
yeah. Yep. So it's
When's
got,
that?
that's in July. That's what I'm saying. So you
Why
lose.
don't they flip that around towards
you
June?
lose.
That it's fucking.
It's Iowa, state of Iowa. So there's no. They
What?
can do that about about
Hey,
that.
you know what? That's kind of American of them. Nation's birthday.
So
Well, okay, then there's logic to that. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But there's still, if you want participation in all the sports, you got to spread it out more. You know, at least have like a gap.
well, what
right?
fucks Iowa is they run their baseball season in summer, which
Yeah.
is stupid. They should run in the springtime.
Hard to do with the weather though.
So
That's why.
I get that.
Yeah, it's harder to do, especially around here.
Yep.
Can't afford indoor type of
Yeah,
stuff. You
indoor
get
stuff, but
bigger cities. you
That
can-
that's what screws Iowa is that they have to or they run their baseball in the summertime. So
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they spread them all out to where you could actually partake in most of them. What I'm getting at, this goes back to even when we were in school, that you could wrestle and play basketball if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That like the bigger sports, you kind of separate them a little bit because I think, for instance, they have a kid that's going to try next year. He's going to try to play basketball and wrestle in junior high.
so you can in junior high.
Yep.
Yep.
The gap, but there's
Yeah, because they're a split season. So
is it
basketball.
a full split season?
Yep. So basketball goes till right at the end of December, and then wrestling is January 1 to like middle of February. So it's a true split season.
Okay. But I wish the high school was separated just a little bit. On all of them. Like
Yeah.
just a little more, because you have soccer right around that time of baseball. You have it fall soccer for football. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff is just kind of.
Yeah.
I know there's only so much time. I get that from September till May, but. And actually, technically into June, because we have baseball, like you just said.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what I got. Makes sense if you want to think about it.
Definitely makes sense. Well, I think it's go ahead and wrap her up time, gentlemen. Hold up. Before we do, give me your series outcome in the Nuggets Miami Heat series.
Nuggets in 6. Nuggets in 5.
Yeah.
There won't be a sweep. There'll be one pride Jimmy Butler game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and the team like rises up. But it's gonna be in 5 games. This team's too talented. The Jamal Murray makes a huge difference, and they're just balling like it's Kobe and Shaq. And I'm not trying to I understand that's a big thing to bring out, but Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was going to say Denver in 5. Boston, or not Boston. The Heat had a crazy run. You know, they've battled through every series. Even the Boston, even after they went up 3-0, right? Almost, you know, gave it up, right? And got no rest. So the Nuggets have battled and then swept in their conference finals. They got some rest. The rest of the big bodies, the big men, now they're fresh, ready to go, and just keep on doing what they've been doing all year. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be – Jimmy Butler's going to take over a game, I think, and will them to 1 at their house. But, yeah, I think it's Nuggets all the way.
That thin air sucks, too.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, if you don't – like I said, the Miami Heat have been playing, you know, just wearing themselves down, going crazy.
You want to go Heat, don't you?
No, I definitely don't. Not even
I was
close.
going to try to bait you. I'm like, hey, we'll give you 4-1 whiskey wagers.
No, I think what makes the most sense is Denver in 5, but I'm not going to make it a clean sweep. I'm going to say they are going to bring out the brooms and take care of this bitch. They're so much better than Miami, dude. They're so much better. It's not close. I don't even know if a Jimmy B game, that maybe makes it a close game. I don't know if he could pull it out. So I'm going to say sweep Denver.
I don't know if anybody has an answer for Jokic. If you did, it would have been Philadelphia. It would have been Joel Embiid.
He didn't even have a great game in game 1, dude.
No, but he still got a triple dub.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's so good.
He is, and then Murray too. So there's just too much. All those role players have been healthy, stayed healthy. They're all balling out. They all know their role.
Say, besides the Lakers, they have the next best bench, I thought, in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So.
Yep, absolutely.
Right on, boys. Either way, Denver is going to take this thing home, and it seems pretty clear.
Yep.
But as we go ahead and start to wrap her up for you beautiful people that found us out there on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
YouTube. Let's go. And we love to tell a good story. We're starting to run thin, so we got to drum up some stories from the past.
That gave me a baby chub the way you said that final one.
That bass.
I stay hard out here, so.
I got a semi. Going.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
My
But we
wife's-
love to
my
tell a
wife's
good
getting it.
story. So make sure you hit us up. We want to hear your story, but what do they got to do, Rio?
Slide on into the DMs. Get us that story. We'll get out to all the folks who want to hear it. You know we do as well. We can omit names. Change it a little bit up for you if you need to, but we'd love to hear it, so get it on over to us.
Absolutely. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, damn it, look, I got it right.